Cool. All right, so we're looking over here. So,
Yeah, over there. Look over there. Yep. See how she direct me, y'all? That's some bullshit.
we're talking about
She's
the
like,
three
baby,
biggest.
look over there. Stop looking at the light. Yeah, it's going down.
We're talking about. Damn it! Three biggest mistakes we made in our fitness.
Yeah, how about those? 1, 2, 3. 3 biggest mistakes we made to start this motherfucker. But she
All
told me,
right,
look
y'all.
over there. I'm like, where? You know what I'm saying? Look over there.
There's the green light right there. Okay.
I can't. Okay. Yeah, damn, I told you before I got on this motherfucker, I couldn't see.
Okay, y'all. These are 3 biggest mistakes that we've made in our fitness journey, and this is our first time going live. Please give us some grace, y'all. Give us some grace. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm just trying to tell him that there's a green light over here, so that's where you want to look when you're talking.
Yep, I got it.
You can see.
I can't see that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got this
Okay,
green light
so-
shining in my face. You know what I'm saying? And look. Y'all can see my glare on my glasses. This shit, they don't glow in the dark.
So just look this way.
Okay, I'm looking that way.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
What
You know
are the
I'm
3
saying?
biggest mistakes you've made in your fitness journey? Goodness gracious.
You tell your 3 first, because you got me looking the wrong way. I could have been told my 3, but you had me looking 3 different ways.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, so number 1. Oh, goodness. Now that's out of the way. Number 1, one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my fitness journey is that I thought that dieting and knowing how to cut food out was going to save me for the rest of my life. I thought, I'm like, man, I know how to diet hard, and I'm this person. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I know how to diet. If I was that person that knew how to diet, I thought that was going to carry me through the rest of my life. I'm like, you know what? I learned how to diet hard. I'm that person that doesn't give a shit about, discipline and how to cut food out. I'm like, I became that person. I'm like, shoot, I'm going to be straight. But that's not the case. So what happened was that I became a chronic dieter. I became a chronic calorie counter, to the point where it's holiday season. Going to a party right now would stress me out. It would give me anxiety. It would make me feel like, okay, well, I need to make sure that I have whatever I eat measured before I go, and then I'm going to know, I'm not going to eat at the party. I'm just going to drink some at that party and, manage the calories from there. I thought that becoming that person that was like, I'm that person that could diet hard. I don't care. I'm the strictest dieter. I did whatever it takes. I'm that person. I thought that would carry me through the rest of my life, and that was not the case. And what happens is when you're that person that, number 1, you have anxiety about trying to eat in a regular, normal setting. There's something wrong with that. That's not a good thing. I thought it was good because I got discipline. No, I had an eating disorder, essentially. I had an eating disorder where I wasn't eating enough food and I was working out too much. And I thought that having that mental capacity to manage what I was eating and not be affected by it mentally was going to help me out. No, it made things worse. So all that restriction, all that calorie restriction, all that food restriction, all that did was damage my relationship with food. So then when it was time to eat like normal, I'll never forget the day when I broke up with dieting, and we were at a burger restaurant with my niece and my brother, my sister-in-law, my niece, and my nephew. And my niece says, "Auntie's always on a diet." And I thought, you know what? That's not the impression I want to have on her of me or about food. I don't want at the time she was 9. I don't want my 9-year-old niece thinking about food she needs to cut out. She's 9. She should be eating whatever she wants without guilt, without any kind of thought behind it. So that was a big thing for me, was learning how that I thought that me being the biggest dieter and the hardest dieter and the most disciplined dieter, I thought that was going to help me, and all it did was hurt me. And what diets do is they damage your relationship with food, and they damage and after you cut so many calories out, and at one point I was on a diet where I was eating under 1,000 calories a day, like under 800 calories a day. Never do this, please. What happened was I slowed down my metabolism like crazy. So this was something I thought I was doing my body a favor, and all I was doing was a disservice to myself, killing my relationship with food and damaging my metabolism. So by the time I did come to eat something real or a real piece of food, it was just getting stored as fat like crazy, and you do not want that. So that was my number one mistake, was I thought that me being the hardest dieter, and I have this discipline, I don't care about food, I thought that was going to do myself a favor, and it was a disservice to myself, and I would never ever do that again.
Yeah, so I get that. I understand exactly what you're saying, because when I was first started working out, I was like 100 plus pounds. You know what I'm saying? I have no body weight. I was super skinny, and I was trying to figure out how could I put on some muscle. And so I had a couple of guys that were way bigger than me that I followed around in the gym. I tried to imitate all their exercises that they tried to do. So that was one mistake that I made, because trying to imitate what they were doing, not knowing the proper form, I was going through all kind of aches and pains by trying to keep up with these dudes, and they were way more experienced than I was. Really? Yeah. I was like, man, I was like, when I seen them curling a certain amount of weight, I tried to grab the same weight, and I'm using all momentum trying to curl it, and I started having lower back pains and different little things that I did that I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong, but I'm like, man, I can't ask them, hey, can you train me? Because at that time I was a little young. I was a little young kid. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up hurting myself before I helped myself. So
how did you decide who you wanted to follow?
Because they was the biggest dudes in the gym.
Oh, so they had to look.
Yeah, they had to look. But now I know some people are born with the look and don't know a damn thing about training. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the mistakes that I made, by looking at the way somebody looks, thinking, well, if they look like this, they must know this. No, that's not the case.
Actually, that's a great point, because I'll tell you what, a lot of people talk about folks having surgery or surgery, implants. I'm gonna tell y'all, we family, right? So there's a lot of people out there that they might not be getting surgery, especially guys, not to get that look, but they're abusing pharmaceuticals to get that look, and they're not telling you. And that's what I want to get into. There's a lot of people out here saying like, hey, come train with me. Hey, you can do this, you work out like this and look like me, but they are not telling what they're doing behind the scenes. Like, we want to be straight up. We're being straight up, okay?
Yeah, so even with that, you know what I'm saying, after so many years of me, just being just like the push-up guy, the pull-up guy, the dip guy, doing all the exercises that I'm seeing these guys doing, but not knowing how come they still look so different than me, So the fact of the reason why they were looking so different than me is because it wasn't what they were doing in the gym. It's what they were shooting in their body after the gym or before the gym.
I have a question. When did you find that out? Like, I know someone told you push-ups, like, I'm gonna do these push-ups. So then at what point did you find out? I'm like,
well, that was my cousin Renee. He told me, he said, man, I saw him, he did something with his chest, and I was amazed, because I was like 8, 9 years old when I saw that. He made his chest do that, So I'm like, I was tripping. I'm like, man, how did you do that? And he told me, well, B, you got to do push-ups. So I started doing push-ups every single day. And I remember the first time that I accidentally did something and my chest jumped.
Where were you doing?
I'm like,
do you remember what you did?
Like, what's up my chest? I just grabbed something, you know what I'm saying? My chest did a movement. I'm like, hold on. I said, Ma, watch this. And I went back there trying to show my mama how to do it. It wasn't moving. So I said, hey, hold on. I got to move my hand a certain kind of way. So when I moved my hand a certain kind of way, it did it. She was like, "Oh, I see it." I'm like, "Okay, okay." Look, I was the happiest person in my life there because what my cousin told me, you got to do push-ups, and you will be able to do that one day. It happened. You know what I'm saying? So after that, several years later, I still didn't really know what I was doing in the gym, and I didn't have nobody to spot me. I wasn't working out with nobody because I was just sitting there by myself. None of my friends wanted to work out, and some of my friends still don't want to work out today. You know what I'm saying?
How did you find out that somebody was doing something unnatural?
It was because it was me and this super huge dude that didn't used to be huge. He was the same size as me, and we split. He started working out somewhere else. I started working out somewhere else. And then when I seen him again, he was like benching 315 for 10 reps. And I was still doing 200 for like 2 reps. So I'm like, man, I say, how is this possible? He was like, man, B, he's like, man, you got to go to the health food store, man, and get you some creatine and some protein. So I'm like, okay. So I go to the store. I did exactly what he said. I bought some creatine and I bought some protein. And I started taking it. And back in the day, it used to be like, hey, you got to take 5 scoops of creatine a day.
Creatine. You had to load it. You had to load the creatine.
The loading phase. You had to do that for like 3-4 days. So you're gonna run out real quick. You got to be forced to go buy some more. So I know it was tactics. So look, I did all of that. And then he was still way stronger than me, and I wasn't getting no stronger. I'm like, bro, I said, what are you really taking, man? Because this shit ain't working for me.
What made you think that was something else, like not genetics?
Because people was telling me, like, man, B, you know, man, that creatine shit ain't gonna work. He taking something else. I'm like, really? I'm like, what is he taking? Because I want it. Because I want to get like him. I want to get big and strong. Because all the girls was looking at him. All the girls wanted to go on dates with him. I couldn't get nobody to go on a date with me. I'm like, man, fuck this. Let me get whatever the hell he's taking to make these girls attracted to him. So, man, I ran to the right person. He was like, Lenny, you get 2 for a penny. You know what I'm saying? So he said, look, he said, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this.
Well, how'd you know that's what it was? Like, I got questions.
Well, because of the fact that somebody told me he was taking some.
Who did?
One of my homies. He told me, he was like, man.
Why you believe him?
Because that was my homie. He ain't got no reason to lie to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he was like, man, you know he ain't all natural. You know he taking some shit. He taking this shit called testosterone and Deca and all this other shit, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, really? I'm like, so how could I get that shit? Because I want to get the same attention that he's getting. I didn't know a damn thing about taking it. All I knew was that I ran into some black market people who can get it for me, and I paid the money. Matter of fact,
how old were you?
I was like 27, 28.
Okay.
So I paid $500 for some shit that cost $75. That because I was so into what it was going to do for me that I was willing to pay that price. I paid $500 for some shit that cost $75. And then when I took it, I was fucking myself up.
What?
Because when I was taking it, it was this stuff called Anadrol 50. Anadrol 50 is the most potent and most fucking toxic steroid that you can take in your life.
So you would advise people to not take it?
Yes.
Okay.
I would advise people not to take it.
Ever.
You heard her. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Ever, never.
asking, ever.
Ever, never, ever, never, ever. You know what I'm saying? And so now this particular drug, it's a pill. So I was popping it. I'm like, man, you're supposed to take 50 milligrams of this particular pill. And in 2 weeks, I went from being able to bench like 200 pounds to like 250. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, hell yeah. But then I started noticing, I started getting all these little bumps and shit, you know, all in my face and my neck and my back and You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Like acne?
Yeah. And then,
It's like the cystic acne?
man, it was terrible. So I said,
So
okay.
not just little bumps, but like
Like my back.
the kind that look like a 15-year-old that's eating a lot of pizza and
Man, look.
chocolate and
My
soda.
back looked like snap, crackle, and God damn it. You know what I'm saying? So I did that for a while, and then I said about another 2 weeks of me taking it, because I'm trying to get the quick effect. So it says take 1 a day.
You took 2.
I started taking 2 a day. And then I started getting these aches and pains in my lower back. And I'm like, man, I can't hardly move, you know?
Now, how old were you at this point?
Same time frame.
Late
28,
20s.
29, 30. You know what I'm saying? So
So you're out of the military.
yeah. So then they said, man, you need to go to the doctor, bro. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Who did?
one of my boys, because he was like, man, your shit hurt like that. You need to go get checked out. So I go to the doctor. The doctor said, what are you taking? And I ain't want to tell him. So I told him what my man told me, creatine and protein. So they did the x-rays, they did all this shit on my kidneys, MRI, whatever. So then he says, man, are you sure that's all you taking? I said, yeah, why? He said, because whatever it is that you're taking, you need to stop immediately because your kidneys are about to shut down if you don't stop taking this. So.
And you're in your late 20s.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what?
And everyone, you can die from kidney failure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you knew that then, did you?
No, I didn't know that. No, but I just know I didn't want to be in that pain that I was in. So I completely cold turkey stopped. And I'll say it took about maybe 3-4 weeks before I felt better. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't recommend that shit to nobody. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the worst things that I could have ever done. And it could have killed me, you know? But it was all because I wanted that look. I wanted that strength. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the girls to pay attention to me, you know? And I did it for that. And there's so many kids that's out there that's still doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that happened was right when I graduated from high school, there was the best football player that was in our school. He was a running back. He was able to squat like 600 pounds in high school. He was bench pressing like 315 for 10 reps, no problem. And he died in our senior year. I'm like, man, what did he die from? Everybody kept saying he was taking steroids. You know what I'm saying? He was overdosing and all this shit, you know. And hence to say, he was the best of every fucking sport because he was enhanced. You know what I'm saying? So, man, right now today.
But say no, you heard that in high school, but in your late 20s, you still did it.
I still did it because I didn't know what he was enhanced with. And then at that time when I started taking it, I didn't put those two things together. I didn't put that one of my homies in high school died when
you
we
also
graduated.
put that you're in your 20s, what could happen.
Yeah. So, man, so I don't recommend that shit for nobody. And there's a lot of quick fixes out there. Just like when back in the day, there were no surgeries. You couldn't get no titties, nipples, no ass, no thighs. You couldn't get none of that shit.
Yeah, you could get titties.
Not when I was coming up.
It's in the 70s, yes, you could.
Damn, I ain't see nobody that people weren't doing it.
Well, you didn't know.
You know what I'm saying? People weren't doing it like they're doing it now.
You didn't know.
Yeah, I guess not. But
there was no fat transfer.
Okay, yeah. And all this get a big butt and injections and all this shit.
They were not in style then.
That's true. That's true.
The point is, you knew better, and you still took a risk for that look. And what I want to say, like, to people who are, you know, you see a lot of this Fitspo and folks out here on Instagram, period. Oh, shoot, I can't think of his name. The guy that eats all, like, the raw meat. Everyone was shocked because
Liver King.
Yeah. They found out he was taking some stuff. I saw his video. I was like, of course he's on some stuff. His muscles were too big. He was too ripped. The muscles were too full for him to not be taking nothing. He's like, all I do is eat raw meat. Bullshit.
Well, you just bust Liver King out.
No. He got bust out. It was a few weeks ago. He's already been bust out. So I know when I first saw those pictures, I was like, his muscles are too round, too full. He's too lean to just say like, hey, all this is from eating meat. Bullshit. I'll tell you one thing. One way y'all want to tell that somebody is doing something else versus what they're telling you, if they are lean, like crazy lean, 24/7, like
365 days a year.
Yes. If they are lean all of the time, they doing something. They're taking something. I don't care if they tell you that they not. Yes, they are. That's the number one way that I can tell that someone's doing something else. Then they're not telling folks. I'm like, you're really lean all the time. And I'm a fitness competitor, right? So I look a certain way when I'm about to step on stage. And the day I step on stage, and then the day after that, I start looking like a normal person. But if I'm just shredded all that time, then that's the number one key. If you see someone that's just shredded, and I'm not talking about just like, oh, they have some abs pop. I'm talking about shredded all of the time, all of their videos. Now, it could be that they're only posting videos like when they're shredded. Or it could be if they're lean like that, it is not possible. It is not naturally possible for your body to be lean all of the time without some sort of enhancement. People are out, and it pisses me off because people out here lying to folks, and they're thinking that they can, have the same results or look like a certain kind of way by following their plans, and that's some bullshit. That's what pisses me off. I'm like, you know what? Y'all just need to be straight up. Like, look, I ain't natural. Like, oh boy, eating the raw meat, the raw Liver King, I ain't natural. Just say that shit. So now he's got busted out, and everyone's looking at him different. If he just would have been straight up, first of all, it was obvious. It was obvious to me. But we're people who work in the industry, and we see a lot of people who do this. So we're telling you this because I don't want you to be fooled by the BS. And that's why Brian's sharing like what he shared. We don't want you to be fooled by the BS. And it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to the people, like the people they trying to sell their programs to. Like, what? That's not what you did.
Man. Hey, look, so the bottom line, man, this whole even conversation why we even decided to get on here, man, because people are losing their lives for a quick fix. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see nobody go through that. It almost happened to me. I could have lost my life if I would have continued to continuously to take that pill, that Anadrol 50.
No, you gotta tell the insulin story.
Yeah, that's another story. I ain't gonna tell it right now. That'll be another story. That'll be part 2 of this video.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but man, now that me taking this pill, that's causing me to have these pains, like severe pains, which I thought was my back, until the doctor did the examination, and he was like, I'm just curious, what are you taking? Because whatever it is, it's about to kill you.
They said that?
He didn't say it like that, but basically that's what he was saying. If you don't stop taking whatever you're taking, you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? Your kidney's going to fail. So the results of your kidneys fail, you're going to die. So, man, immediately, he said, matter of fact, he made me bring the bottle. I brought him the bottle and showed it to him. And he was like, I advise you to pour this out. He was like, I'm not going to pour it out. I want you to pour it out.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. So I'm like, man, if it's like that, you ain't got to tell me twice. So I took the bottle and I poured it down the sink right in front of his face. You know what I'm saying? And I never, ever, 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 never have touched it again. And I've had people ask me, B, man, can I get this stuff, man? I heard this stuff called Anadrol 50. I said, yeah, I could get it for you, but I'm not going to get it for you. You're not going to get it from me because of what I went through. I recommend that you don't take that shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, man, why? How come I can't take it? And I just tell them my story. Now, if you choose to go somewhere else and get that shit, that's on you. But you would not ever get that shit from me. You know You know what I'm saying? Ever in life. Because if I were to continue to take that shit, I wouldn't be here telling the story right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters to me. You know, so I've saved a lot of people because I've had a lot of people come to me for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Big B, man, I know you know. I'm like, know about what? Man, you ever heard of this stuff called Androl 50? I'm like, nope. Stop right there. I'm not getting it for you. You know what I'm saying? And I could. And yeah, I could make some money. But I'd rather save a life than make $1. You know what I'm saying? For real. So that's all I got to say about that. It's going down.
Well, ain't no better way to end that. I'll say one thing that's huge is the fact that people come to you and you're like, no. Because there's somebody else who's not going to say no.
And I know a lot of people who would not say no, and they know the effects. That's the fucked up part. Because if they don't get it from me, and they really want it, they can get it from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else didn't go through what I went through. Somebody else didn't have their kidneys about to shut down. Somebody else didn't get affected by it. They just got super strong and super big. Because it affects 100% of the person 100% differently. You know what I'm saying?
But
you can take some shit for 2 weeks and fuck around and die. Somebody else can take it for a whole year and have a clean bill of health. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. So why take a chance? You know what I'm saying? So that shit gets me like fucking pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see nobody get hurt over some stupid shit, over a look, your reflection in the motherfucking mirror. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. I know I'm cursing. I'm just pissed off for greatness. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll say this. You're in your 20s. And this is what happened.
Yeah.
Now imagine folks who are in their 30s. What could be, it could be worse.
Yeah, 40s. You know what I'm saying? 50s.
So,
I got people in their 50s right now that's on all kind of shit because they want to see this vein, because they want to see their abs. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to be able to motherfucking be bragging rights in the gym that they can bench 500 fucking pounds. Fuck 500 pounds. I've been there, done that. It don't do shit for your joints. It don't do shit for you. It gives you bragging rights. B, damn dog, how much you bench? You know what I tell a motherfucker how much I bench right now? I tell a motherfucker 175 pounds, 125. You know what I'm saying? 100 pounds. I know I can do more than that, but it don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there, done that, and almost died from it. And it ain't worth it.
Well, we gonna leave that right there. There's nothing else I can say behind that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being honest, and being open, because a lot of people need to hear that. But man, there's nothing else to say, for real. So y'all, if you heard what B was talking about, if you've been thinking about, or if you've seen people and it feels like they're getting stronger faster than you, they're getting changes faster than you, what he's saying is it ain't worth it.
You know what? It used to be a song called Take Your Time, Do It Right, You Can Do It, Big B. You know what I'm saying? Do it tonight. Take your time. Take your time. That's all I got to say. Heard it from me, your boy Big B.
And we're out. So we're going to start going live twice a week, and you're going to get information like this from us twice a week. And if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. And y'all, happy holidays, y'all. Happy holidays.